Hello guys.
Hello.
Welcome to our YouTube channel once again. I'm Vic.
And my name is Debbie.
Thanks to all our fans
Thank
for watching, for
you.
subscribing.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
And do us a favor by turning off the notification button so that anytime we drop a video, you will just be notified that, hey, a video is here, and be rest assured that it's going to be a very good use of your time by watching
Yes,
that
and
video.
please don't forget to share with your friends too.
Yeah.
Let them know about this channel. Let them listen to us so that they will be blessed too. If your friends have a good marriage, trust me, it is all of you that is going to enjoy the marriage together. They will not be calling you at 2 a.m. in the night to complain to you. So please share with your friends too. Thank you.
Yeah, so today we want to talk about finding your dream spouse.
Very important.
So we've been getting that question: how do I find my dream spouse? Where do I find my dream spouse? How did you guys find each other? Well, we won't be discussing how we found each other today, but of course, there are certain principles and certain steps that we follow that helped. And so today we want to talk about how you can find your dream spouse. Agree with me that we all have a dream spouse in our mind.
Yes.
We have, that
Tall,
imaginative
dark,
thought.
and handsome.
Well,
Scripture quoting brother.
I know for a brother, it
That's
depends on
money.
what you want. Of course, you want a beautiful lady, a nice looking wife, somebody very attractive that is also well to do, also that will bring something to the
Very
table, not
important.
not somebody that will be a parasite on you. All right. So in finding your dream spouse, the first thing myself and my wife looked at and we discussed about while preparing for this topic is that you must be that dream spouse. Yes. I know this is shocking, right? You must be that dream spouse. A lot of times we have ideas of the kind of person we want. Yes. I want the person to be good looking. I want the person to have money. Yes. He must be working in a very top organization.
Very important.
He must have a car. He has a house, or possibly has a land in about building already.
Exactly.
He's flourishing in his cause. List then. You have those lists. But the question is that, are you that dream spouse?
Yeah, the way I'll put it is that the person that you want to marry, like even you, as you're looking at yourself now, will you marry you? Like just reason that
deep.
As you want to get married to somebody's son, even you, as with your behavior, your characteristics, the way you react to things, the way you spend money, can you marry yourself? Like, can you so that is the first thing that you have to do. You have to ask yourself that the dream spouse that I'm aiming at, if the person sees me, will I be his own dream spouse?
Will I be his spec?
Hey, are you your spec?
Yeah, because the truth is that every average lady, a lot of times, for some girls, they just want to marry somebody that is already made and stuff like that.
And that only happens in Nollywood.
The thing is that the already made guy, do you think he's going to step down from the level where he is and he's just going to pick a girl from the gutter?
It happens in movies, babe.
Well, it happens in movies.
Like
but
a rich person will come from abroad.
Okay, and just go for the village and marry one village girl. Yes. But you see, in the reality is that everybody look for their class. Yes. That is the truth. It can happen, yeah, sometimes, but it's not too common. Even the ones that you see that somebody will go below and just pick somebody from, it doesn't happen too frequently. This is the dream spouse you want. Prepare towards it. Build yourself, build your capacity, increase your worth to be that dream spouse, so that by the time that dream spouse comes, he can see you worthy of him. You are looking for a spiritual brother. How spiritual are you? You are looking for a God-fearing brother. How God-fearing are you? These are real questions. You are looking for somebody with attitude, but you don't have attitude. And then you want somebody with you want somebody with attitude. You are looking for somebody working in a great national company, and you, where you are just working. We are not trying to belittle anybody, but I mean, you are working in a place where what you earning currently is 30K or something, you are just struggling to live. The truth is that it's not bad, but this is your dream. So you know what is good, and you are looking for what is good.
So start aiming towards it and be intentional about your life.
That is it. And the next point.
Yeah, one point is that it should be findable. Yeah. You know, as a lady, the Bible says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing." So it means that the guy, most of the time, does the finding, right? And the when they are finding you, the question is, are you findable?
Are you positioned towards position in such a way that when the satellite is on, it can pick you? It
can pick your signal. Yeah, it is. Some people will say, "Oh, I like her because I like the way she smiles. I like the way she's committed to God."
Look at Ruth and Boaz. Look at Isaac and Rebecca. It's strategic positioning.
You see, when Ruth said he wants to go to the farm, that's how they found each other. If Ruth was back there in that village,
he went to his domain, the place of his interest, where they can connect.
Glory.
Do you understand?
So you don't stay in your house and you're pressing phone all day. Well, Facebook can be a positioning too, because
well, it depends on the kind of content you post there. It depends on what you are talking about. It depends on the kind of pictures too you are posting there.
Because I actually had so many toasters, online toasters from Facebook. Yes, okay. Now. So
okay, toasters. But toasters beware, she's taking. So every toaster that wants to stick toast, I chase you out by fire. No, I'm just okay. I'm a man of fire, so I'm just okay. Let's
So I'm saying that Facebook too can be a good tool for positioning, but then the idea is just that be findable.
Yeah.
Go out. Don't stop watching Netflix every day, all day of your life. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows. You don't even have impact on people. Nobody can say, "Oh, this is what you're doing. This is the change you are making." That can make someone like you enough to say, "I like what this guy is doing. Let me even get to know her." Do you get? So you are the one that will say you don't like physical service. You want to join the church online. You say you are listening to YouTube. Your own church is YouTube. Nobody knows you. Nobody know anything about you. Whereas the husband God have created for you, I've been going to church since the beginning of January. He has not seen you in church. Do you get? So you have to uniquely position yourself to be found.
Yeah, this is even just it's a normal concept even in business. No matter how good your packaging and your products or your services are, there are strategic places and strategic outlets you need to position yourself to be seen.
Yeah.
If nobody sees your brand, nobody's approach the brand or buy the brand. All right. The same way it is for a lady, for a guy, you know, for ladies especially, for example, even you as a guy, you know, there's a place of how do you position yourself? You know, are you friendly? You are trying to look for friends. Of course, you begin, oh, yeah, my friend. But how friendly are you? Are you nice to people? You are not friendly. A guy just say hello, or a guy just say, "Can you borrow me this?" The way you react, you know, it's a no for the guy. You don't expect that. And that might be the husband or somebody that, you know, might take you serious at the end of the day. Get married to. So connecting is also another thing. Learn to connect. It means that you make friends, you go out, you know, you go to church, they have singles meeting, you attend. There is old students association also, you know, your school, tours, travel, you know, your school club, your school that you might have graduated from also, they are trying to have a get together, you get involved. They are like fellowships, you know, some international fellowships, volunteering. Yeah, there's a couple we met of recent, and they say they met through volunteering.
We met them in this UK. Yeah, the lady is a Nigerian, and the guy is an English. Yes, a British guy, and they said they met through volunteering. The question is that where would they have met if not? Because if she had been in her house and she's connecting with her fellow Nigerians, she would not have met.
And you know, babe, the amazing thing is that they felt they shared the same interest.
Yes,
you know, so it was easier for them for them to connect.
Because obviously the voluntary work they do shows that they have interest in the same thing. So it was easy for them to connect. So you might just try that.
The next point on that being findable, I need to say the way you also look and the way you also appear matters in you being fine. See, the truth is that no matter how spiritual you think a guy is, we move a lot of finds by what we see.
Yeah.
So attraction is important. You say all these slave queens are taking
presentation must be rock solid.
They are taking the spiritual brothers away no. Listen, you also need to look attractive. Am I saying that, you know, listen, no matter how you want to think it, a brother finding you attractive is not unspiritual. The thing is that the difference is that for an unbeliever, he's attracted by what he sees, and what he sees rules in and controls that way. But for a Christian, that can be the point of attraction. But other things will now be considered for him to know if he wants to stay and if you are the person he wants to move on with. But you need to look presentable. You need to look attractive.
To make your hair. You don't even have to dress seductively. We are not saying that at all. Yeah. But some people, you wake up in the morning, you will not brush your teeth, you will not comb your hair. You just say, it's me. That's me. The person that comes should accept me the way I am. And the way you are is not good.
But if that is your dream spouse, if that is the kind of dream spouse you want, for,
but just a little bit of hygiene, just a little bit of ironing your clothes before you wear them. Some people will not iron their clothes; they will wear them like that just because I'm a church girl. They should accept me the way I am. No, wear correct clothes. You don't have to spend so much. Make sure your hair is well done. This is my hair now. I made it by
someone said the way you dress
I made it by crochet. It does not take time.
Someone said the way you dress can lead to the way you'll be addressed.
Yeah, so just look into that.
The third point is know what you want. What do you really want? In a man or in a woman. You are trying to find your dream spouse. But several people are even confused, or they don't have laid down principles of what exactly they want.
If you don't have where you're going, everywhere will look like your destination. Yes, everything will look
so when you have an idea of what you want, when people come around, this is not it. For example, my wife has certain things written down, in a jotter. And by the time I came and she began to observe...
And the funny thing is that, that list that I wrote about the person I wanted, I didn't even go back to it. I think it was just there in my subconscious. I just wrote it down. This is what I wanted in life, like in a man. It was this year. It was January, right? That I just came and I showed him. I said, babe, see this thing that I wrote on my notepad about the person I wanted, that you tick all of the boxes. I even wrote it there that I wanted someone that likes traveling like me, but it's not important though, but I'd love to get married to someone that loves traveling, so at least you'll be taking me pictures, we'll be having fun together, because I wanted to travel around the world. And my husband likes travel, like he's very big on traveling too. And everything I wanted, being a Christian, being a leader, everything that I wanted in a man was everything that it did. So if you have that list, it's not just you being carnal. You can prayerfully make that list. The reason why I said prayerfully is that you can, so that you will not be judgmental or make things just based on your flesh. But then you can prayerfully make that list and make sure God is leading you. So that when somebody comes around and the person is not even close to what you eviscate in the person, you won't even say, I want to pray about it. You already know that you are not the one. I know the person. When the person comes, I will recognize him. And then when you are trying to build that list, don't build it based on physical thing. Although I wrote him has to be handsome. Thank God my husband is handsome. But that one is me being not Canada though, because I really wanted my husband to be handsome. But the idea is just that, so that you will not be looking at the physical attributes, and the person that comes to you might not even be the handsome person that you think you want. And when you finish dressing him up, when the money comes you will now realize that this person is very fine. It's just that it's not money. So that's why I'm saying that don't base it on physical attributes alone, or that is just it, but just base it on the spiritual values and all of those things that you want in a man. And it will help you, to guide you, so that everybody, when you have people that are just asking you out, 10 brothers are asking you out, you don't even know who is who between all of them. It will help you to narrow it down, and then you will not just go out with every Ari or anybody that just comes to your space and just asks you out. Do you get?
Yeah, so she has said a lot on that. Just to add to that is flexibility. I will say that know the key things that you want. There's something called primary, there's something called secondary.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So for something primary is like This is it. These are important. I cannot do without it. All right. If this person does not have it, is out of it. Okay, primary. That is primary. Yeah. All right. Then we have secondary, which could be certain things, maybe height, certain things, maybe shape and others like that.
My husband has to be tall, so our children will not be drawn.
All right. So those are secondary. But you need to ask yourself, is he a deal breaker for you? Can you do without it? For the ones that you can do without, just be flexible about it. But there are certain things that are core that that these are primary. So I would advise that focus on them. Because sometimes some people are looking for both the primary and all the secondary together in one person. Not. Sometimes you might just have the core primary, but a few of the secondary, not really alive, but you are ready to work with the person. And that's why the person should also be somebody that is teachable, that has an open heart to learn. So that because if he's teachable, no matter the secondary things you want, you can always figure it out in the person. But certain things are primary, so it means that you need to be intentional. You know what you want, be intentional about it. This is not it. Don't trust God and believe that the right person is actually going to come. So be intentional, and as I said, focus on the primary things majorly. And the next one is that you need to be observant of others' opinion. So sometimes now you don't live by people's opinion, but when it comes to choosing your spouse, when you have a lot of the people that or you submit to, or you are accountable to, or they are your mentors, your friends or your siblings or even family, everybody is seeing things you are not seeing, and they are just seeing red flag everywhere. You need to check it very, 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 very well, because God also speaks through people. And the truth is that sometimes you might be in love, and some people say love is blind, and you might not really see those things in those people. You are consumed by the fire of emotions. But so learn to listen to other people's opinion, hear what people have to say about the person. So what do you think?
I think that the truth, like what my husband said, love is actually blind. So you have to, if everybody, your parent is saying, this boy, where did you see him? Where did you meet? And you're like, I love him. Okay. Your sister too is saying, this boy, and you too, you're like, why? And then you have to call one of them. Come and give me like deep explanation. What happened? What do you see in him? Do you get? Because you're in love, so there are some things that would generally be in your blind spot. You won't see it. You might see it in other people's relationship, but you might not see it in yours, that this guy is not treating you well, this guy is this thing, this guy is that. You might not see it. So when your friends, your family, everybody just calling you to say, why are you in a relationship with this guy? What is wrong? Just step back and be observant and look into it. We're not saying that you should allow people to tell you what to do, but if everybody keeps saying the same thing about somebody, then they would probably be right.
Before we move to the next point, let me share a very practical experience. One of the core relationship I had while I was still much younger, I think in my latter days in the university. That was the relationship I entered. I was in school. You see, when I wanted to go into the relationship, a lot of my friends, a lot of the people around me weren't in support of the relationship. They just felt, you don't really know this girl. Oh, no, don't go out with this girl. But, I felt, no, she's good looking. There are certain things I like about her, this and that. And people kept telling me, no. In fact, a close friend of ours, was close to me. And when she heard about it, she almost cried. She was angry, But listen, I was adamant. I felt that no, it's because you know her. You get what I'm trying to say, it's because you knew her and stuff like that. And I went ahead, but it didn't last. It broke up, and I left heartbroken at the end of the day. From so I learned that sometimes you actually need to listen to other people's opinion.
Just look into it. You might not even say that.
Some people are watching your back.
They have your best interest at heart. So if they are saying, even if you are going to dispute it, just try and look into it.
Give it a second thought. Maybe take time to pray about it. And don't believe that you are the only one that can hear the Holy Ghost.
Everybody is not out to get
the Lord has spoken.
Your relationship. Just calm down and look into it. They might be right and they might be wrong. There's another point where we said that we have to look at for both of you, is there an alignment of purpose and values and vision? Do you get? You don't marry someone that you are not compatible with. The Bible says, can two work together except they agree? Yeah. So if this is your life, this is a forever thing. It will be a disaster if you get married to somebody that you don't have the same value system, you don't have the same purpose, you don't have alignment in any way. If the person you want to marry says he sees a vision of being an evangelist, traveling around for evangelism, and you're a family oriented person, you want your family to be together, daddy, mommy, and their children, that might be a red flag for you, because it's obvious both of you do not want the same thing. Even though you both are saved, you are born again, do you get? It does not mean the person is not saved. It's just that the person is not good for you based on your own value system, right, babe?
Yeah, so marriage is actually a prototype of God and the church, the bride and the groom. Is the prototype of God's kingdom, how his kingdom operates. And then you must understand that when it comes to union, it has to deal with God having a definite mandate for bringing people together.
Yeah.
And you need to find that mandate. You need to find that assignment
and make
sure it works. So why God is bringing such people, it's bringing people that
will help your assignment.
We help that divine assignment come into actualization. So when you begin to look at who that your right spouse might be, you need to look at that. What is a divine assignment, that God has given to me that I can find to say is that a calling, an assignment.
Yes.
You as a woman, this is where the man is going. Do you see your life in alignment with his own life?
Yes.
All right. He's driven towards this. Are you actually driven towards this also?
Thing, yes.
Your values are also important. You are a Christian. There are certain value that drives you: integrity, love,
yes.
giving,
yes.
Honesty, faithfulness. And this is the same value that drive this person.
Yeah.
Delayed gratification. These are things that might be part of your own core values. What are his own core values? And these are things you actually need to look at. Purpose, values, vision. They might not need to be the same, but they need to be an alignment.
Yes.
You should see how it overlaps each other.
It kind of complements. You are complementing each other.
Yes.
It's not like you are working in parallel direction.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going this way, you are going that way,
the other
and
way.
You don't even see both of you meeting in any way. So that if it's like that, then it might be a good time to just take a step back and reassess the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is that there are 1001 people on this earth. So if it does not work out with one person, it can always work out with another person.
We know it's not easy.
So it might not be easy, but you need to get it right in your marriage.
Yeah.
And so if you see that both of you are not meeting anywhere, you just step back.
Just keep tarrying and stay in the waiting room of God.
Yeah, stay in the waiting room.
Yes.
And then the last but not the least, the most important one that we saved for the last is God's direction, God leading. Do you get? So beyond all of these things that we have said earlier, what is God telling you about the person? Have you heard from God? If not, you can start going to the waiting room to pray and make sure you hear from God concerning your marriage, concerning his direction for your life. Who is he talking to you about? Do you get? So
yeah, the voice of God is one of the most important assets you can have in life.
Yes.
Your ability to hear from divinity is actually very, very important. And you see, the truth is that our sight is limited. We can't see far.
Can't see the future.
We can't see into the future, So, but God has been in the future. He knows the future. He's the beginning and he's the end. The future is actually in him.
Yes.
So when you trust God, and said, what exactly do you want for me? As people begin to come, as you begin to get towards the stage of making that critical decision, you just need to keep praying, keep talking to God, allow God to lead. It's not as if some of these factors will not guide you. They will guide you towards choosing. But at the same time, the voice of God, the direction of God. I share a story quickly as we bring this to a close. Before I met my wife, one of the close relationship that I had, a very good friend who've been very close and others, and she really liked me. She did all she can, all she can, but you see, at that time, man, I really like my time around her and stuff, but whenever I started thinking of a marriage with her, like spending the rest of my life with her, I just lose my peace. And sometimes I pray about it, and anytime I'm trying to pray about it, I just lose my peace. And this babe has potentials. She has serious potential.
So she ticks all the boxes.
Yeah, but I just kept losing my peace. And it was during that season, my path came across her path, and I had this peace in me. I just knew, yeah, she's the one. In a nutshell, I'm trying to say that is the leading of God. That does not have to do with anything with the qualities I've listed above. She actually ticked most of this quality. But I do not know why that was happening. But I think that, he knows the end from the beginning.
That is why God, because God is God, there's nothing there's no way else, no other way that you can spin it. God is God, and he knows the future. He knows today, and he knows the past. So there are some things that we as humans, our small brains cannot understand. There are people I would have gotten married to apart from him, as well as there are people he would have gotten married to apart from me. But look at us here today. We are married and we are fulfilling purpose. And sometimes we still say, okay, so what if we had married someone else? Because we have conversations like that, and we're like, well, maybe we will not be where we are today. We'll be both doing great individually, because we were actually doing great individually before we met, but we will not have had the accelerated progress that we have right now, just because we were not married to each other. So that is just it. It is God that God is still in the business of matchmaking. And if you surrender your life to him, he's going to give you nothing but the best, because he said the thought he thinks towards us are thoughts of good and not of evil, to give us a future and a hope. So if you leave that part of your life to God, trust me, he won't scatter it for you. He is going to help you, and he's going to manage it so well, much more beyond what you with your small brain can come up with. Yes.
So in a nutshell, people, we are just trying to say allow God lead.
Yes.
That does not mean we say become religious and then you don't, because sometimes we have extremists.
Someone say, I saw you're my wife, and then you say, okay, you're my husband.
And then some other values are not put in place. Yes. So please go through some of the points we listed,
and then still listen.
But we are trying to say allow God lead. It's very important.
If you're not feeling peace of mind about a relationship that you're in, it might be because the relationship is not good for you. Yes.
Yeah. So and sometimes it might not be that it's not even good for you. It might be that there is something God wants you to know, or it might just be that God wants you to wait more. So God's languages are not the same for everybody.
So just trust God to lead you, and if he has been speaking to you before, you know the way he speaks to you, so you can hear God speak to you. So this will be the end of our video.
We trust that by the help of God, you'll find that your dream spouse.
Yes, please invite us to your wedding ceremony. And you can attend via Zoom.
And my baby is also a photographer. She'll be more than willing for them to come cover the wedding. Your love, right? All right.
Thank you so much. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button.
And ensure you turn on the notification button
so that
the next video, when it comes and it drops, you will be notified. Thank you.
Bye.